everyone, welcome back. It's the Louis Vuitton Princess, and today I am here doing another reveal for you guys. Oh, so I say reveal and I sigh because this was initially supposed to be an unboxing, but in typical USPS fashion, they opened the box for me and I'm still honestly kind of pissed about it. This was a high ticket item, over $2K, had $60 worth of shipping, thankfully was fully insured. And when I went to pick it up today, the box was completely open and I almost lost it. This is probably like the 12th item I've picked up from USPS this year that, you know, was a Brit for the shipping, and I've gone to pick it up, the box was completely open. So I don't even know what's going on over there. Honestly, I'm just glad that by some miracle and the grace of God, the bag made it here safely, because I just don't know what I would have done if it didn't. That probably would have been my 13th reason today. So very glad the bag made it here safely, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So I don't want to talk too much. I'm going to jump in and show you guys the bag. And so my latest purchase is the Louis Vuitton, so excited, the Louis Vuitton Speedy 40 in multicolor noir. So if you are a multicolor fan, you know that this is a unicorn piece. I don't actually know like how many of these there are or aren't, but I do know there are not a lot. You do not see very many of the multicolor Speedy 40s. They're pretty hard to come by. So sort of like a little backstory on this purchase. And you know, I think I'm gonna do my thing where like I scoot a little bit and then I can like sit the bag here so you guys can see it while I'm talking. So a little backstory on this purchase. This is actually my second Speedy 40. I did purchase the multicolor Speedy 40 some years ago, and I purchased it in Blanc. I don't quite remember who I purchased it from, but I purchased it from like an online consignment store and it was $1,600. I know people probably hear that now and they're like, $1,600 for a multicolor Speedy 40. Yes, they were not expensive back then. And I say this all the time on my blog that a lot of people ask me, how do I have so much limited edition Louis Vuitton? And the answer literally just is that when I purchased the stuff, however many years ago, it was not that expensive. Multicolor was out when I started buying it. And so I brought a lot of stuff for really cheap. So I originally had it in the Blanc multicolor Speedy 40, and I kept it for like a couple months. I don't even think I had it for a year, and I ended up selling it because I wanted to fund something else. I don't remember what that something else was. I think it may have been my Kusama Speedy or just like something along those lines. Either way, I was not really vibing with the multicolor Speedy 40. Again, it also was the Blanc, and I've said this before on my blog a few times, but I really feel like there are some bags that look better in noir and some bags that look better in Blanc, and the Speedy 40 multicolor is one of the bags that I feel like it looks better in noir than it does in Blanc. So I sold it. I had a little bit of regret, and then it's like, I kind of want another one, but if I get it again, I'm absolutely going to get it in noir. And you know, another reason is because the multicolor Speedies do have the pocket color bleeding issue, which I didn't want to let that deter me from getting the bag, but especially when it comes to the 40 and the 40 being so pricey, I was like, yeah, if I'm gonna spend the money to get the 40, then I'm going to absolutely positively make sure that it's the noir, because I don't want to have to deal with pocket bleeding issues on a bag that is that expensive. Now, as you guys know who follow my blog, I'm actually working with a material scientist, and we are working on a way to reverse the pocket bleeding issue. So in the near future, that may not be a deterrent anymore, dealing with multicolor Blanc pocket bleeding. But for now, we're still working on that. And so I was like, I definitely want to get in the noir, and then I'll come back and get it in the Blanc later. But I feel like the bag looks better noir anyways. So this one I purchased for, I think it was like $22.50 or something. It was not cheap. but as you guys know, it was in my budget for a unicorn bag. I have paid $22.50, $22.25. That's like my top budget. The only other bag that I've spent that kind of money on was my watercolor aquarelle Richard Prince Speedy 35. So that's my cap for how much money I'm willing to spend on a bag. And if I'm going to spend it, it absolutely has to be a super, super rare limited edition type bag. I will not spend it on just like a regular common bag. When I was looking to purchase this bag, I was also looking into purchasing a bum bag, and ultimately that's how I ended up buying this bag, because bum bags right now are astronomical. Like everywhere I'm seeing, they're $2,500, $2,600, $2,700, $3,000. They're out of pocket. I remember when the bum bag first came out, I think it was like $1,500. Like I remember when they came out, I'm not paying somebody $3,000 for a bum bag. So essentially I was like, well, if I have this money to spend and I'm planning on spending it on a bag, like before I go out here and buy one of these bum bags, which I could, but it's like before I go out here and pay somebody $2,700 for a bum bag, let me see what else is on my wish list that I can find. And the Speedy 40 Multicolore Noir was another bag that was already on my wish list, and I actually had already located one, but the person wanted a lot more money. They were originally asking $3,200. I talked them down from $3,200 to $2,250. Again, people ask me how I get good deals. I haggle. A lot of times people have bags that they're kind of just sitting on, they want gone. This person had this bag listed for quite some time, like it had been quite a few months. And so I figured they would be amicable to an offer, and thankfully they were, and it all worked out. So to people who follow me on my Instagram, I sold a bunch of bags. That's how I brought this one. I probably sold like, I want to say like 5 or 6 of my bags / SLGs. So I sold a lot of stuff to get this. Actually not just to get this, because that's how good of a deal finder I am. I actually sold those things and funded, I think, 4 bag purchases. So this is one of 4. So to everybody who was looking at me crazy when I was selling a bunch of stuff on my Instagram, and if you're wondering what Instagram that is, it is at the Louis Vuitton Princess, and I post most of my stuff that I'm selling over at Shop LV Princess. Both are on Instagram, follow them. But nonetheless, for everybody who was looking at me crazy when I started selling stuff and they're like, oh my God, you're selling this, oh my God, you're selling that. Yes, I sold a lot of stuff, but look at what I got. Look at what I got. Like, and again, this is only bag 1 of 4 that I got. So yeah, to be honest, I am not sad at all. I thought I was going to be sad selling some of my bags. I am not sad at all after seeing, the first thing that I purchased. So very happy, very pleased. Nonetheless, I'm very happy with the Speedy 40, and I want to show you guys some of the details. So the Speedy 40 is the largest Speedy size. The next size up is the Keepall 45. So this bag is large. It is large and in charge. I think that was one of the reasons why originally I wasn't really feeling the Speedy 40, because I felt like it was a little bit too big. But I don't know, maybe I've grown and matured and my opinion of that has changed. So nonetheless, here is the side, and here's the made in stamp. This bag was made in Italy. Not uncommon for some of those later 2000s multicolor pieces to be made in Italy. You see that quite often. So here's the other side with the zipper pull, and the zipper pulls in really good shape. And here is the back of the bag. Really good shape. Here is the front that you guys have seen a few times now. And the hardware is like super duper pretty. Like I don't see any scratches on this hardware at all. Super duper, super pretty hardware. And here is the bottom, which is also in really good shape, really good condition. So overall, I'm really happy with this bag. It didn't come with a dust bag, but it did come with a clochette. So I do have the clochette here. This is actually a charm I already had, my little like Murakami panda charm, but I just think it looks so pretty on any of my Takeshi Murakami bags. And nonetheless, this is the multicolor Speedy 40. It is a very large bag. The interior, there's not a ton going on, so I'm not gonna unstuff it. It is the Noir, so the interior is that sort of brownish gray Alcantara lining. You know, not a ton going on inside, so I don't really feel the need to unstuff it, but you guys get the gist. Beautiful bag. And I'm gonna stand very briefly just so you guys can kind of see. Again, it's a very large bag. Like it it covers me essentially, and I'm a hippie girl. I've got big hips. It is a large bag, very large, very much so in charge bag. But I really love it. I think it looks cute, even with like the sort of like summer, you know, romper thing I'm doing right now. Even though the romper is sort of plain, I still think it looks really cute, and it styles well. And that's one of the things that I love about the multicolor bags, especially, is you really can wear them with anything and style them with anything. That's a huge plus to them. Nonetheless, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am super excited because this was a unicorn piece for me that I'm really glad to have back in my collection again. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get my hands on another one because the prices have gone up astronomically, but with good deal finding and a little haggling and a little grace to combat the chaos over at USPS, sometimes things work out. As always, if you have any questions or would like to see more of my collection, make sure you stop by my Instagram at the Louis Vuitton Princess. And if you're interested in shopping my closet, make sure you stop over at Shop LV Princess.